So today I'm here to answer two questions that were asked in the comment section when we did this video right here about red flags. Click on the link to have a listen. And the first question was, how do I get to know my partner's core values? And the first thing you have to do is you just have to ask your partner, what do you think is important for our relationship or our marriage to thrive? The thing is, you have to listen to the answer itself and the thinking process behind the answer. That way you get a more rounded or 360 understanding of what their needs are. Some people give their answers directly, so probably someone could already know what their values are, so they'll say, for me it's honesty, commitment, trust, such kind of things. Others will give a long story, then you have to summarize it into one word for them, right? But then you have to rephrase it. So you said we need to go out so many times, I need to come home this time, I need to do this and that. So if I've gotten it right, what you mean is we need to spend more quality time together. That would make our relationship thrive. Then they will agree or disagree. Then at that level, you are both on the same page. You're not assuming one thing and maybe they were saying another thing. The other way about it, which is the most important, is you just have to observe behavior. And this is why I'm saying behavior is more important than words. Remember, number one, nobody will surely sell themselves short. So if I want to be in a relationship and you're asking me about the values, I will speak highly of myself, So most probably I'll say something that might not be necessarily true. The other thing to remember is sometimes when people speak, the way we see ourselves could sometimes be different from how we really behave. There are people who have that difference in how they see themselves and how they behave. For example, someone could say, I am kind, but as per how they behave, you do not see that value of kindness in them. Someone could say, I value honesty, but you do not see the value of honesty in how they behave. Someone could say they value communication, but you don't see that as per how they behave. So it is important to look at behavior. Now when you're looking at behavior, you have to consider two of the most significant times: during the challenging times and during the most successful times. Because in both instances, you'll get to see a raw version of that person. When they have a high pressure situation, when they're in a difficult environment or a difficult situation, how did they respond? How did they speak? Were they positive? Were they negative? Were they respectful? Were they kind? Were they honest? Did they communicate? So the difficult or challenging environments, plus also the really good times, they will help you understand a person's behavior and as such their values as well. So that would be the first question. The second question was, what do I do if we have a mismatch of values but no one is willing to change? Now, the first thing you have to understand is the mismatch in values. We are assuming these are the core values, the things that you cannot compromise on. That's what we are talking about. We are not talking about the small, minor things. We are speaking about the things that you feel that a relationship can only be good as per you based on these few things, and the same for your partner. So if none of you can compromise, you're saying change, yes, but I'm thinking it's more of a compromising situation. So no one is willing to compromise for the other. For me, I would just say, do not waste your time. Just let it go. It might be at that point, you're both not at a point where you can be together in a healthy way. You can let it go and revisit at a later date. Then you can assess again if you guys are now compatible, or not compatibility necessarily, but whether you guys are now aligned from a value perspective. But the thing is, the more you stay And the more you're being hopeful and saying, oh, it will get better, I can, you're compromising, but you don't want to compromise. So what happens? You butt heads a lot. You bicker all the time because it is not flowing smoothly. You're not agreeing on the fundamentals. So you'll find, yes, you're staying hopeful, but you'll argue ear in, ear out. Then 3 years later, you look back and you realize, oh, the same arguments we are having today are the same arguments we had an year ago, the same arguments we had 2 years ago. So save yourself the agony, the time, the wasted time, and just value yourself enough and to love each other enough to say this is not a healthy state for us, and the best thing would be for everyone to go their separate ways and see what life has there for each one of us. So those would be my 2 responses to the questions. Hope I have answered you, and wishing you the very best as you decide on which direction you'd like to take. Don't forget to comment, to like, and to subscribe. Thank you.